Hello everybody, good morning. This is Phil. I'm doing a video right now on the many different cheap guns you can buy. These guns I purchased, I would call a Gems Day or Package Day or Cheap Guns Day because I bought these guns over the last month and they were very inexpensive, paying basically for 4 high points at $130 each. It came out to basically $520 with shipping and everything. I'll get to that in a second. It turned out to be a total of $588, and I was not impressed with the quality of the guns that are usually used on Guns America, and they're usually newer quality or old guns that were not used hardly at all. So they were like brand new condition, almost like NIB, new in box. And so I live and learn, and $588 for these 4 C9s, or 3 C9s, and one 380, I'm kind of set back from. There are good deals out there. These guns are not worth $100 a piece, to be honest. So $130 list price and then shipping an additional $68 is on the expensive end, even for cheap guns. Okay, they're beater guns and they're for plinking. Okay, I would not use these guns in a combat situation or self-defense situation unless I knew they were put through all the tests and rapid tap, accuracy. I want to say limp wristing it where you can hold it any direction and it fires. There's millions of YouTube videos that show the High Point C9 is not only a boat anchor like they say, but all their guns really run pretty good, and you have to do a lot to destroy them. You know, it's pot metal. It's pot metal steel or cast iron or whatever. It's not even cast iron. Cast steel, I forgot the name of it. ZMAC, I think it is, kind of steel. The lower half, I'll describe in a second, are polymer, and it's very top heavy, where if you hold the handle and lean it sideways, the gun would, with all its weight from the slide in the barrel and everything, would like tip over. And there's no balance whatsoever to it, except for the ammunition being placed in the magazine. And then, you work the action and you fire, and you get used to it being top heavy while you're shooting. There's less ammo as the ammo goes and it's fired. And I've noticed that before, especially on the JHP 45s, but they were still fun to shoot. It was not necessarily detraction for the High Point JHP 45s. I love those. I swear by them, and dare I say, if I ever needed to use one for self-defense, that would be the time it didn't work. High Points. They're just built to work, and I don't know why, with the cheap plastic and the mechanics of a sear pin going up and down with a rinky-dink spring holding it up. I know how they work. They're very easy, and if you can learn that, you know basic mechanics of how a striker fire system works. Because you have a sear that holds the spring back, okay, and the trigger lets everything go. It goes forward, strikes, backs up, and the sear, it goes over the sear like this, and then it hooks. And just a short way to show you. In any event, this last month, I was putting a lot of little tiny things on layaway. And one of them was a Bersa 644. And I tried to find more information on YouTube with just my phone when I was waiting to pick it up. And it didn't break my bank. None of these guns broke my bank. Even paying $588 for 4 High Points. But I'll get to that story in a second. Excuse me. Bersa 22. The model is, excuse me, the model is 644. I believe it's 10+1 in the gun. This looked like an older kind of Beretta style, and it has a button here for its magazine eject. Okay, but Bersa copied a lot of Beretta. Okay, and somehow they had business dealings where they could use some of their designs, and it looks more like a Walther or a Makarov. Okay, a little 22, and to me, when I felt this feels more sturdy than the other Bersa I have, which is the 380. Very light, that 380, mind you. So in any event, I was like, I like the older look. These are the older look guns I like. You know, blued original, hard plastic. However, this has 3 safeties, okay? It has a hammer block safety right here, and this moves up and down. I'm sorry, sideways, front to back, and it just moved the hammer, so it blocks the hammer from hitting the exposed firing pin at the rear of this slide. Okay. Then also there is a cross bolt safety you see there. Okay. It clicks over here. I see red. That means dead. You're ready to go. So I have this gun fully loaded. I got the cross bolt safety off, so I don't have to worry about that. That's just an extra worry right there I don't like. Okay. But it's basically, if Bersa was an imported gun, they probably had to do that to make it more safe and sellable in the United States. Okay. So the button here for the magazine release is only on the left side. Take out the magazine, and I'm going to do it the best way I can and then show you. This lever here, you can see that lever right there above the cross bolt safety. That's what's holding the slide open. To me, this is overkill. Okay, this is crazy, and I believe these other safeties, magazine release safety too. Okay, so once this is gone, you cannot fire this weapon. Okay, so I put it down, all the safeties off, gun is loaded, the hammer is all the way back, and nothing happens. So that's 3 major safeties you have to worry about for firing a simple 22 that's heavy, but it's built like a tank, and will probably feed and eat up every 22 you put in it. Probably 22 subsonics too, if that has enough power to push back the slide. So looking at this, $199, I said I'm doing layaway. I would not buy this with all the safeties unless I could do layaway, $199. I think this was another 211 deal where I go and buy cheap, inexpensive guns. But where I go to buy cheap, inexpensive guns, they can do layaway, and all their cheap guns are bottom price. Occasionally, they're less, between $100 and $200. But they're bottom price guns that work fairly well, new like condition or great condition, $199. 211 total once out the door. And so there are deals out there. This is not one of the best guns I've bought ever, but I like its archaic nature. I like the all black. I like the hard plastic. And Bersas make and have made great pieces, okay, meaning guns, since probably the last 50 years. And they absorbed some of that technology that Beretta was always developing, being a forerunner of all guns made. And Bersa basically piggybacked on them with their popularity. And then a lot of, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, I remember as a cop, even in the 90s, the Bersa lost a lot of favor with people because it wasn't the best quality. Mine worked. It had the wooden grips. It was a 380, and I love that. And I haven't been able to find a good deal getting that one back from my original gun collection. but they've really improved in the last 20 years. And I just want something a little bit more older, the history behind it, knowing their history. And it's a 22 plinker. Okay, this is a fairly heavy gun. Okay, you're not going to have any kick whatsoever with a gun like this. So, I finally found a North American Arms smallest 22 long rifle they have, and it was $279. I bit the bullet, brand new. It has a belt clip on it that is too cumbersome to ever think of using this in a harried situation of self-defense. This is cute. You can throw this in your shirt pocket. It has notches on where the hammer seats in between the rounds of the cylinder. So you just pull the hammer back a little. And then you wait till it fits in there, nice and snug, very safe, 22 long rifle. This is more novelty, and I was practicing dry firing it yesterday, and what was transpiring is my one finger holding it would keep on hitting the trigger, and it was like a push and pull with both fingers fighting each other. So I started doing it quicker and just letting my big finger holding the handle absorb some of the pressure when I'm pulling the hammer back and moving the cylinder, and then the trigger reconnects and relocks so it could be fired with the hammer in the rear position. This is so cute. You know, if you absolutely just wanted a peace of mind because you're going somewhere, you're going out, you're not expecting an engagement with ISIS or, you know, Antifa or Black Lives Matter, you know, with a bunch of AR-15s, you know, stay away from trouble like that, okay? But if you just wanted to put this in your shirt because you were happy to, and you're going into some place, they're not going to sit there and pat you down, but you don't want to show a gun at all or give anybody the impression that, oh my God, he's a gun collector, so I must be afraid because everybody tells me to be afraid. You know how the Karens are and the Kevins. Well, this is cute enough. And to give you an idea how small it is, you know, look at that, my hand. And the one I bought before that I do like to carry with Magnum is this. Look at that, the size of my hand. Okay, much bigger. You're not trying to have a gun battle with this. This is for plinking. It might be to kill a bad animal near you, like a rabid raccoon, okay? Or it might be deployable in a self-defense situation where you are not the initial target. That is for you to decide when you would deploy like something like this, that small. Okay, 22 Magnum, and that can still debilitate a threat, and it can still kill. But you wouldn't try to have an all-out street battle with ISIS with it, is my point. So, ordering from Guns America, I saw a deal for High Points for $140, and I contacted through Guns America their email messaging system. And I said, well, how many do you have of the High Points? Because they emailed me and said they had 6. And this is kind of shady. It was called Twin Hair Dryers. Okay. I believe they're like a pawn shop, or maybe they go through storage facilities like you see on the shows, the cable networks, and they pull out guns from whatever one they bought in an auction. So they get everything inside that storage room, and they find guns, and then they turn around and sell them. I don't know if that's the case, but that is, in essence, the quality of the guns I bought from them, and I'm not happy. Well, then there was an email that, they said 130, and I said, okay, I'll take them all. That sounds good. And then I received an email, after we're done auctioning the guns, a regular gun auction on Guns America. And I was like, wait a second. There was no listing for that gun as if an auction. Not that I saw anyways. I may be mistaken, but it said 140. It said 100 and I want to say 40 or 30 bucks. And the email response was, yes, if we don't sell them all at auction. Okay. And I was like, wait. How much are they all, each individual one? And I want all of them. So I was told 130 per C9, 4 C9s and 2 380s. I said, okay. And then I had to wait because they were talking about something about auctioning some of the C9s. I was like, no, I want them all. And so they got rid of 2 guns, and all that was left was 3 C9s and 1 380. And I don't care for the Hi-Point 380s. I don't like their recoil spring because it's really fragile, okay, to be honest. And the 380, and it might still work just as good as the C9 or the JHP 45s. I don't know, but I don't like their more fragile feel with the action and the trigger pull. That's just me because of the springs. And I haven't fired the 380 in a long time, and it was not enough to impress me like the C9 and the JHP 45s. And also, whatever they call JC 40, whatever those are called, I had a 40 Smith & Wesson Hi-Point at 1.2. Very nice. I do want to get now the Hi-Point 10 millimeter. So that's another story. But in essence, I was like, okay, it finally came, and then I waited a week and a half because I'm like, I'm not going to rush back to the gun store to go get it. I received another email when the guns were just about arriving at my FFL. Oh, what's your address? I need to send a magazine. I need to send the magazines and the ghost ring sights. I was like, okay. So I had a little bit of discrepancy there with the communications. I said, okay, my address is here because that's not the actual gun. You can send it here. I said, send it to the FFL at first, and I sent an email immediately back. I said, send it to my address. Okay, whatever address I gave you before, or this address, because I had 2 addresses. And they sent it to my original first address, and it was 1 magazine and 1 ghost light. So I'm like, okay, do these people know about weapons at all? Okay. They kind of try to, I want to say, cheat me down to 4 guns instead of 6 at 130. They auctioned off probably 2 guns, at least 1 gun they got more money for. And I opened up the box today, and I was like, oh, there's a silver C9. Take it home, look at it just now. There's all kinds of blue paint right here where someone painted this blue before and took off all the original finish. And this is nice and shiny. You know what worries me about these when people polish off all the coating of the metal? Is what if that metal is mixed with something that's cancerous or it's a carcinogen? Okay, you have exposed metal. Okay, this is regular pot metal, cast metal. Okay, so I'm told. But I like the finish on a brand new Hi-Point pistol because it basically deflects a lot of water and a lot of wear. And so there's blue paint right here in between there. If you can see it there. And I'm like, man, so much for the new condition. You know, might have been used. The new condition. This gun right here is not worth 50 bucks. Okay? This gun right here is not worth 50 bucks, all the use. I can hit... Oh, now it comes out. I'm here. My finger can hit this magazine release. It's not a latch, it's a button. Now it comes out. Before, either my finger was interfering with it and it wouldn't come out. Now it is. Okay? This gun right here is worth 75 bucks at the most. Okay? It probably still runs. It's got its Hi-Point shake, don't get me wrong, but the style is just horrible. This is a beater gun you put down underneath a suspect that was just shooting at you. And then he tosses his gun, you know, freaking 300 yards behind you when he was running and you were chasing him all over the city. This is a beater gun. Anyways, not worth $130. Barely worth $75. Then, 380. Cute. Okay, look at those grips. This is like, I don't know if these were just made like that. This has got like, I want to say patio umbrella material. It feels like that kind of texture. And it looks neat. But again, I don't like the 380 because of that silver. I'm kind of snobby like that. That silver look. And doesn't lock back. I thought that all the high points were supposed to. Okay, well, I don't remember how much were the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 1, 380. Okay. And this has like dirt and smudge around it. Like it was dusty. It was oily at one time and dust fell on top of the oil. So it was kind of smudgy and had that kind of texture to it. This, my professional opinion, $100 flat out the door. Maybe $80 processing fee, $20. $100 at the most. And there's no guarantee these work. And that's being generous. Then, beat up, kind of faded the original grip feel of the also there. That texture that all high points have is still here, and it's smoothed down a little, but scratched, so it looks worse. And maybe that doesn't affect functionality, but why are all these guns $130? I'm thinking new quality, okay? All over this gun, on the slide. Chips. And this one, what was that sound? There's kind of a metal sound in here. I don't know if it's the magazine or not. Not the magazine. When it's inserted, there's a little spring sounding like it's rolling around in here. This I wouldn't trust my life with. I'd have to test fire this and be very safe. Okay. Unloaded. Okay, maybe I was mistaken about the C9s and the C380s. I think they have last round hold open, but maybe not when you pull it all the way back. It's just a rack around and go with it. Another beater gun. This right here is worth $70, maybe $90, but they round it up higher and they act like they're giving you a deal, something under $200. That is bullshit. Okay, I know the JHP quality, the JHP 45s in new in box condition or new condition, they run and they work and they're beautiful, even though they're big and clunky, like twice these size. I've done videos about them before. Last but not least, High Point C9, normal condition. Okay, the red little safety lever, put that up, can't move. You shake this around, sturdy. But with these, you have to be careful with the button there. You just touch that button and the magazine just came out. All these are unloaded. I double check them. I double check them at the place I buy them, and I double check them in my car when I'm moving them into the apartment, and I double check them before I place them in a safe location. Usually many, many times. Okay? Normal functioning C9. Okay, my fault. See how that locked back? That locked back. behind the magazine. Okay, so what do you do then? Release the magazine. It's down just halfway. Let it go forward, and it's unarmed. So test firing. Safety is off. Safe direction. You can hear that, and it's always a lot of sponge with the Hi-Point trigger mechanisms. Okay, comfortable. This one right here may be worth $120. $120, maybe $140 out the door, or $140 shipped to you total. Okay, this is not worth $130 and then another $30 or so. I'm sorry, another $20. It's not worth $150 at all. Okay, this is maybe worth $120 flat. So there are deals out there, and I love my beater guns. Don't get me wrong, but would I go to war with them? No. Are there plinkers and you can have fun with? Absolutely. And then you can use them for parts eventually if they start to break down when you have better guns. They're newer guns that are tried and true, and you've cared for them for 25 plus years, and they're not going to break down anytime soon. These beater guns can be parts for those. And so I have a couple C9s, and I wanted to just add those to my collection for a large family eventually. And again, it's not breaking my bank. That was $588 flat when I had them sent to my FFL. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a couple weeks. I don't have to rush anything to go get them. You know, across the table at the FFL is another $27. So you're thinking, okay, that's basically $600 worth of guns. Okay. 4 guns into $600 is how much? You know, are you willing to pay that? And it's a lot more expensive than they make it out to be, like they're doing you a favor. But there are still guns out there. I also would not disseminate these in a serious apocalyptic event where I'm arming up my family. There are better guns than that in the world. But for plinking and wasting ammo and practicing tactics, you got to be safe with those kind of guns too. Those cheaper beater guns. But once you figure out they work, does it have a purpose also in a defensive situation? Does it have a purpose in hunting? You know, using a 9mm for a small doe might be all you can do at one time to put food on your table. Okay? And a 9mm can take down a small doe. I don't mean a little baby one, but a relatively small doe that weighs 150, 180 pounds. Okay? What else can that gun do but bring satisfaction target practicing? You know, practicing tactics doesn't have to be expensive. So these beater guns could be for that. But I say this in closing. I will watch how I use Guns America in the future with these crazy names on there like Twin Hairdryer, and how they tend to sell their weapons. If I can't speak to them over the phone and say, tell me the truth about this gun, is it new condition, new in box condition, what makes this gun the price it is, then I'm not going to purchase from them anymore. I don't like any business I can't call. And that's why some ammo businesses I won't deal with anymore. Because you call the number and it's automated tree that sends you around in circles. So, in closing, guys, on package day or gems day, there are guns out there if you keep your eyes open and you experience yourself or let yourself experience all the different guns out there and all the different systems that might be just for plinking. Let's be honest, a lot of these cheaper guns can be just for plinking and being in that mindset of protection, but then you use your combat weapon when you really need to. So, thank you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Be safe out there. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your community, protect your state, and protect your God-great United States. Thank you. It's worth protecting. Take care.